All right, today is July. Um, Today is July 7th, 2025. So the market had a bit of a gap from yesterday's from Friday's price action. Friday, well, I think Friday and Thursday. Oh yeah, Friday price. For some reason, there was some price action on Friday, which is very short. The price gapped up. Price is kind of like holding that area. Um, I was looking for. I had a level here from that Friday for some reason. Even though it was a Friday that was closed, I had a level there. Looking for price to come down here to bounce and move up to this 63.30 since we're in a very bullish market. So price had this nice little sell area right here, pre-market, at the open of Monday, and had this little buying right here as well. So strong buying. This was right at the open, and then around 6 o'clock, strong selling. Coincided with this here on Sunday. Sunday's high right over here. Sunday's gapped up and pushed up, and price kind of like stayed there. So I didn't really pay too much attention to this because this is the bigger level. This is very small, but there was no news today. So with no news, small levels of probably should be in play. So this might be something I have to put in into a mindset. So you can see that we have this here. This is a strong selling there, right? Because price came down there. Maybe it's this right here. 315. No, it should be this one here, right? So price gave a strong sell here. I probably could have entered here. I was looking at this weak buying going into it, but since this is like way down below this, I would like to see price come back and do a double top versus this weirdness, right? And it has this level to go to. So price did sell off very nicely into that level for about maybe 8 to 10 points. Then it held. Then I thought about, oh, okay, if price is holding this, if it can break below it, maybe I just get this short retest 6300 and just take it down here for 15 points. So price started pushing up already, so I'm not interested in that. Right, needed to clear this. Price came up. You can see that it did its thing. This would be the entry. If that was the case, if we cleared that and came back up, that would have been the entry. Price struggled and struggled and struggled, and then around 11 o'clock marker, a lot of volume was building up. I saw this happening, a ton of volume, and then bam, it broke. Right. So now this would have been a nice area for price to go back up to this level or that level or that level. It continued short, but now we're at my level. I'm very long biased, right? NQ did bounce for this very nicely pre-market. You can see that, not pre-market, but during the market right at the open. Right at the open, price came down like it was about to crash through, and then decided to bounce. If I could get it to show. So price started dropping. You can see that it was a strong sell into that level, but ES was not going. All right, and then it bounced up. All right, and then when it was revisiting the second time, it didn't break it, and ES was still high. Right, and then as ES got to this level, it still didn't break it. It was still there. So now I understand. So I'm like, I want to see buys, but we're near the noon time, and I'm like, well, I don't see any buying here. All this is straight selling. Strong volume, 3,000. Bam, right? Boom, boom, boom. 3,000, 30,000, not 3,000, 30,000 volume. So weak volume here, but no buys. So not interested, right? We had sell hell. The buys that were here were not there. There was no buyers. So noon was coming. I walked away. So my mouse goes dead. I'm no longer interested in anything here. And just kind of like stay where it's at. Now I do come back. I do see this strong potential buy, and I said, oh, that would be cool. Maybe I didn't touch the mouse, but then price sells off. Yeah, so I wasn't here for any of that. Price sells off. Now the question is, how do we capitalize on this? Right, strong selling right here. No buying. Right, the volume fades out, and we would need to buy. Right, price definitely doubles down to sell and breaks. pulls up, but it doesn't close. All right, so while it's pulling up, right, it's doing this thing here, it doesn't close. Right, RSI pulls up. Maybe I wouldn't know where to get in. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a level here. Not that I have a level there. This would have to regain that. But now that that's below, what do we do? All right, so no level there. I say, okay, so maybe price wants to stay down there. All right, but we have to look at NQ. VIX hit this, so now VIX is in the area for shorts. All right, not longs, so it's a little confusing. But this here would be the entry right here, right? So we get this here, weak buy into the strong sell, potential entry. Right here, boom, bam, into that strong setting, right there. Okay, so I do want to open this up to see what was there. Because yeah. I do want to open it up to see what was there. So let me log in. Because I want to see what was there to see if I could even click on any of these, because that would be the entry here, and then we're going to try to run it all the way down. Right, that's a good quick 15 points, 10 15 points. King came down, would have to clear that bottom part, and we just wait. So probably going to come back up and retest though. Right, probably going to go higher. There it goes. I don't know what the heck just happened. I missed that. What was that? That's 130. Looks like it was just news or something. Price really started really digging into that level one last time, and then that probably would have been the entry right there. Okay, just take it short because the price should not really be revisiting up there. And then, okay, can this buy fail? Because there's some potential people trying to buy there. We're at 2 o'clock. We're really holding it. Bam. Alright, that is a strong push into that, and we're gassing out. Okay, trying to gas out again. Out of volume. Alright, gassed out twice. Alright, so that's 3 o'clock. Alright, and it really pushes back up to that strong selling. Maybe get another short right there, but probably would have stopped out early. Alright, so interesting, right? Oh, you see where that buy came in at right here? Alright, boom, that's the buy. Boom. Alright, now we say I could have probably entered on that one, or enter in the next one right there. Alright, and then run it up. That's a nice 20 points. Alright, needed to buy there. Buy confirmed here, but buy didn't confirm there. Boom, boom. 2 green lights, go. These are all red lights, go. Maybe that's what I do. Alright, so let's go see this thing over here. Let's see what was going on there. So can I select it? Right. So like here, I'm able to select. Let's select. Yes, I could select it. All right. So it wasn't major. Now let's look at it from this standpoint. We zoom in. You can see that. All right. Strong volume. A lot of selling. So we have selling here, repeated selling there, strong selling there. Price came back up to that strong selling, and that's where we had that drop, and then we had this strong buy and said, hey, now we've really absorbed, and then price went. So it probably could have entered there until the end of the day. This would have been a nice trade. 6 points, 20. Wow. 25 to 26 points. Wow. Bonkers. Alright, so that would have been a nice trade. Made back up to this strong selling right here. The price ended up selling. Let's see. Alright, strong absorption. Yep. Nice area for a short. And it sold after the market closed. Alright, so yeah, so you gotta be patient. Tomorrow I won't be trading. I'm busy. So looking for a buy at 62.85. Aim for 62.85. Price broke, so maybe I just get the sell here. Right, if I didn't get this sell here was 10 points, 6, and then this one here. Right, back it up. All right, that's a nice good point. So all right, so that's it for me for today. I won't be back tomorrow because I won't be trading tomorrow. There's also no news tomorrow, so yeah, that's happening. So no news tomorrow. Why can I not get to this toolbar? What the heck? Alright, take my behind the sleep. Yeah, no news tomorrow. You see, Wednesday, probably Thursday, probably the best day to trade. News wise, maybe get some volatility. Alright, adios. I am